welcome. This is the sneak peek of into Agile Day Kaunas 2023. Today with you, there will be myself, Andres, and Simas, and I just noticed that I need to
Hey guys.
change the name because we have both Simas. Today we as on the Agile Couch together with Agile Lithuania and a few workshop facilitators will introduce you or just speak and glance a bit into Agile Day Kaunas, which will just a huge event which is nearby. And if you maybe already got a ticket, or maybe you're still thinking, do I need to buy a ticket? Of course you need to buy a ticket, but at least today you'll be able to hear more what's happening, where this event will be going, and what you can expect. And I guess, again, like every event or even meeting with a work-related, people usually tend to be late a bit. So we will launch a promo video. If you didn't already saw this, it's a really nice video from a glance from the previous Agile Day Kaunas. And after this video, we'll invite our guests and we will start the discussion about upcoming Agile Day Kaunas. And for now, enjoy the video.
Mokytis vienam iš kitų yra vienas iš svarbiausių iš tikrųjų uždavinių. Yra labai skirtingų būdų, priklauso nuo to, kas tau priimtina. Bet aš turiu atkreipti dėmesį, kad diskusijų lygis ženkliai paaugas.
It's even stronger and even better in the physical world because you then sit next to the people that reflect upon your story. The cool thing about open spaces is even though maybe one topic is not on the agenda, it's the coffee breaks in between. And so there was like so many good conversations happening.
Just the engagement from people and the way everyone is contributing to the discussions and so on is really, really good to see. I'm definitely taking that idea away from today.
Irgi labai naudinga tokiuose konferencijose, open space'uose pasikalbi, pamatai ir supranti, kad pasitvirtini teisingai mąsčiau, teisingai galvoju ir reikia eiti ir daryti.
Radau kur ir pačelendžinti save, ne, taip tarsi iššūkiu, nes galvoju, kad taip darom ir manau, kad išdirbom labai gerą būdą, bet tada tu pamatai, kad yra ir kitų būdų.
Keliuose open space'uose nusprendžiau, kad ko gero visą dieną visi ir liks. Aš noriu tiesiog vienas dalykas pabandyti kitaip pažvelgti į savo iššūkius. Antras dalykas sukurti terpę išsireikšti tiems, kurie galbūt tose diskusijose, kurios šiandien vyksta, sunkiai įsiterpia.
Kad visi žmonės gali rasti temą savo. Vienos yra tokios labiau abstraktesnės. Dažniausiai open space'o sėkmė priklauso nuo to, koks turinys yra atnešamas ir kokia energija yra atnešama. Ir mano toksai mažas džiaugsmo momentėlis būna, kai aš matau, kad vienas žmogus šneka, o kitas kažką tai užsirašinėja ir bando užfiksuoti kažkokią tai mintį. Tai manau, kad to įvyko pakankamai daug būtent tam kambaryje Open Space.
I would recommend, if this event happens again next year, that they get their tickets booked as soon as possible and they attend it again next year.
Brief reminder about the last year Agile Day Kaunas with participants, with workshop facilitators. So I think it definitely was a lot of words which like give you a glance what can we wait even in this upcoming event. And now I guess we can introduce our guests. Is that right, Simas?
Yeah, and just before introducing our guests, there's a small icon on the screen that you can see on the left corner. So it's a nice thing that you can use while being on the live presentation. I think it's on the left side, or maybe it's on the right, depending on how you see it. There's a QR code with a buy tickets image, so you can scan the QR code directly from your computer or TV, depends where you're watching, and check for the tickets to get them right away. And welcome everybody on the live session together with us. And let's see what guests do we have here. And firstly, maybe let's say hello to Nancy Beers, one of the workshop facilitators. Hello. How are you today?
Well, actually, pretty good. I'm really looking forward to May to finally meet each other in person. Yeah, very cool.
Indeed,
And I
looking
just
forward as well to meet
love
you face
open
to face.
spaces. So
That should be fun. That should be fun.
mm.
And as well, by reading the name of the workshop that you're going to facilitate, that should be really fun as well.
And a lot of frustrations, because that is one of the misconceptions about playfulness, that it is about fun. But I don't know if you have ever seen a teenager play on a gaming device. That doesn't look like fun. So playfulness and gamification is also a lot about frustration and overcoming obstacles. And that's also one of the key messages in my workshop. Fun
Looking
is a
forward.
byproduct. Yeah.
And we do have more people here, so we'll just put them on the screen. We have Saula, who is one of the organizers, or should I say the main organizer of Agile Day Kaunas. Hello.
One off. We are doing with the team.
How is your day today so far?
Don't ask.
That's a good answer. Or if you don't want to know, don't ask.
I just come straight from the work. I beat Vilnius traffic, and I'm sitting in my sister's children's room. So
Congrats,
let's be
you made
agile. Yeah. But now I'm very happy to be here. So all that is gone.
Nice to have you. Hello
Very
once
good.
again. And we do have as well Peter Stevens, who is going to be as well one of the workshop facilitators. Hello, Peter. How are you?
We cannot hear you,
We
Peter.
cannot hear you, Peter.
Greetings, team. I'm good. And yourself?
Not that well.
I think
Once
now,
again,
Can
at
you hear me
least.
now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, okay. So third try is the charm. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good.
All good. Looking forward to this session. Thanks for joining us. And as well, we have Greta here on the line with us. Hey, Greta, you're one of the
Hello.
organizers as well of Agile Day Kaunas.
Hi. Hi,
Nice to
everyone.
have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having this session.
All right.
So I think that's
And
all of guesses. Like, so we have 4 guests and 2 of us. And as we already showed the promo video from the last year, I think the first question could be to maybe Saula or Greta regarding, we or a lot of people actually had the pleasure to glance at what was happening in Agile Day Kaunas 2022. How and maybe what will be different in Agile Day Kaunas 2023, or maybe it will be a good same old approach, maybe a new place or stuff like that. So maybe a few details about that.
Yes, I can share the details. So we picked a new place. We listened to the feedback from the participants, and we picked a bigger place. We will have more room for open space. It won't be that much crowded than it was last year. So this year we will be having an event in the Business Leaders Center. In Kaunas, we call it just BLC. And of course, in the center of our event, we will have that open space technology. So anyone and everyone should bring their themes and questions and whatever is on their mind, and share their experience. And this year we will have more workshops. So last year we had 3, and this year you can choose from 6.
Wow, that's a lot. It's twice much
I
as
know.
it used to be.
And talking about the workshop quality, when I thought if it is hard for me to choose to which the workshop to attend, well, we know that we picked the right ones, It will be a headache, but it will be a good headache,
Good. So
Yeah.
maybe as we already, started to discuss about the workshops, we can ask maybe Nancy about her workshop. Just, again, sneak peek introduction about what we can wait. during the
Sure.
Agile Day Kaunas.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think, Saleh, it will be the joy of missing out, hopefully. Because probably when I look at the program, I'm also very excited about all the other worship leaders, and I'm like, oh, I want to attend all of them, but I have to do my own. But let's just embrace that fact that there's always more to learn. I think that's a good thing. What I am going to do is I'm going to present a workshop about the power of play, because I really, really believe, and I'm really, really backed by a lot of science, that we should play more in the workspace, because play and using playfulness in your work will make you better. It's good for your health, it's good for your brain, it's good for your creativity, it's good to be more innovative. It's, of course, it's also fun. But I studied all kinds of different things, but I also did a study on ludodidactics. Ludo is the Latin word for playing, and didactics is the English word for didactics. So I'm a game-based learning expert, and I am convinced that there's no better way to learn or unlearn new things or behavior than to use playfulness in your work. And of course, it's not only telling but also showing. So expect a lot of games and different types of games. So suitable for the, introverts, extroverts, suitable for all kinds of sessions. If you look at it from an agile perspective, what kind of games can you use for particular Scrum events, for instance, or how to engage a team in a better way to have better brainstorm sessions or things like that. So hopefully I can back that by with some science, but we're most definitely going to play a lot.
Sounds great. And I have a maybe off-topic personal question. So are you playing games at home? Maybe which one is now your top one game in the playlist?
I really enjoy one, just one at the moment, which is a word game where someone picks a word and then other people have to use another word to describe that word, but they can't be double. I really love that. I tend to love cooperative games a lot. So games where you play with a team against the game. That's also escape rooms, for instance. But if I look at it from board game perspective, that's absolutely one of my favorites. And also the Magic Maze, which is also a cooperative game where you have to get out of a mall, being a dwarf, and well, it's crazy shit. But that's the board game part of it. And if I look at my favorite game of all times, that's Team Handball. So because playing sports is also gaming, right?
So, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Cool.
Nancy, one more question regarding gaming. I'm just wondering, because these days it's very popular to have virtual, teams that are within different places in the world. Will there be any tips, tricks, or I don't know, ideas about that perspective
for remote
within
games?
the session?
Absolutely, yeah. Because of course, the last couple of years, I've done a lot of remote gaming. Also, I like to play games online that you don't have to use extra software for, because I think that breaks the connection between people too much. So, although I've seen Mentimeter used a lot and a lot of tooling, I like to play games that are just like we are sitting in the same room. So a perfect example that I like to use is an exercise called Build a Tower, where I ask people to build a tower on their desk and then show it on the camera, and then I link questions to it like, okay, you can use it as an introduction game. So what does this tower tell me about you? But also, if you look at it from Scrum perspective, so how does this tower reflect our latest sprint or our latest increment or our team communication? So, and I will absolutely use a lot of that. And maybe also, if I have time, pick a slot in the open space program to do an open space session about remote gaming.
Wow, that sounds really cool and very useful. Thank you for sharing what's upcoming in
Yeah.
your workshop. Looking forward to join you. Actually, I'm really interested into being there.
I think you should.
Thanks. And perhaps a question regarding the organizational part. I see actually a question that came from audience before the event, and people are actually different, interested how Agile Day Kaunas is different from Agile Tour Vilnius. Apart from different cities happening, Vilnius, Kaunas, that's obvious different, but perhaps someone from the organizers would help us to understand that.
It's very, very easy.
Yeah.
So at Agile Tour Vilnius, we have a lot of speaking sessions, and a lot of speakers come to represent their ideas. At Agile Day Kaunas, we have open space. So this is one big difference, open space. And all of the sessions in Agile Day Kaunas event is very hands-on and very interactive.
So it's more like interactive sessions rather than just listening, but actually
Yes.
being part of this, being part of the game, being part of the sessions.
Yes, you're right on the point, Sebas. Thank you.
Maybe
That's
just
so cool. Mhm.
it's important that everyone can get what they want, because they can bring up their pain, what they have in daily life and in the project, in the team, and get out of the session with the results. So it's interactive and bringing a solution. But experienced people have to participate and prepare in advance.
I like that you mentioned this, Greta, because even with this promo video, which we looked at the beginning, there was a participant, just visitor, who shared this, that I'm here, just double check my theory which I have in my work environment, and I had pleasure to listen to so many different experience from different people, just to double check why are we doing right, what can be improved and stuff like that. So that's definitely a huge benefit.
Yes, and I think one more interesting point from open space and overall Agile Day Kaunas event, that everyone is like equal, and even if you are maybe just first time met that situation in your career, in your project, your team, so surrounding is very important, and the people just can address the things that they already experienced, but maybe you just now thought that, okay, this is the thing that I'm stuck and I need to find some solution. So the feeling is very I don't know, open, then you can just address the topic right away. So you cannot describe it in words, you have to feel it.
And actually, I do see that we already answered to another question, because there was a question how many workshops there will be in this event. So Saule already answered that there will be 6 workshops, and I guess we can then talk with Peter, because he is one of the workshop facilitators too. So Peter, maybe you can introduce your workshop and ask people to join me, because we have 2 workshops at the same time.
Okay. Oh, well, this is really the challenge when you've got parallel tracks, because you always want to go to both events at the same track. You say, oh man, what am I going to do? So what are we going to talk about? Well, everyone knows the first value of the Agile Manifesto: individuals and interactions over processes and tools. And the challenge is that when you look at all of our methods, they're all about processes. Scrum is a process. Well, don't get me started on SAFe. So anyway, we've got lots of, they say it's all about do. Okay, and that's processes and tools, and that's wonderful. But the heart of agility is really about the individual and the interactions. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to do a deep dive on the interactions. Okay, because the key thing about interactions is asking questions and asking powerful questions. Okay, so we've seen in the last 10, 15 years, there's a new profession called Agile Coach. And coaching is usually about working with an individual, or maybe coaching a team to learn how to do Scrum. So we're back to the tools and process stuff. But what I want to do is I want to, do a deep dive on asking questions to discover information and do it in a group context. Okay, so, we've got teams, and the whole purpose of agile methods is to activate the intelligence of the team. And so what we're going to do is, we're going to kind of explore powerful questions and what you can do with powerful questions. And then we're going to combine that with facilitation and say, okay, how can we bring a group together? And I'm going to assume that one of them is the boss. We usually in Agile, we're kind of all peer-to-peer, but our companies, they've got managers and managers and all the way up. So, what do we do when we've got a manager in the room, and how can people like that be agile? And they can, because all they got to do is start looking for better ways of doing what they do by doing it and helping others to do it. And so what we're going to do is kind of applied agility for leadership. What can you do to, to start being more agile in what you do? And it's, leaders have got a really tough job, okay? Their world is very complex. They don't know if they're asking the right questions. They don't know if they're making the right assumptions. They don't know if they're getting the right answers. And if they get the wrong answers, then bad things can happen. So it's actually a very challenging job. And I think agility is going to be, and I think this is something that we can offer to the leaders of our companies, is a real gain in our ability to master the complexity of the modern world. So anyway, this is what we're going to do a deep dive on, agility for everyone from top to bottom, and how you can, when we come away, we'll have actually done a problem solving session. I'm hoping that it's almost a little bit like the open space. We're going to identify a problem that needs solving, or maybe several problems that need solving, depending on how many people we have in the room. And, then we're going to try to understand the problem and find some solutions to it. So it should be fun.
So does the people who will attend your workshop needs to do some kind of homework if they would like to maybe deep dive into their problems, or it's not something which is needed?
This is remarkably common sense stuff. What I would encourage people to do is if they've got something that they're losing sleep over, or that's, kind of churning in their stomach, they should definitely bring it with them. And because what I'll be doing is, among other things, I'll be asking people, hey, let's find a problem we're solving. Okay, and then we'll try to activate the intelligence in the room to actually solve the problem. So bring a good problem, and hopefully you'll be able to convince your colleagues that you got a good problem we're solving, and then we'll take a shot at solving your problem.
Wow, that sounds amazing, and ability to deep dive into the problems and activating the intelligence of both teams and leaders. You mentioned actually, Peter, one of the things that I believe some of the participants that might join Agile Day Kaunas as a first time joining such event, it might be a bit unclear for them. You mentioned that it's almost like an open space activity. And I wonder if anyone could share a bit more. So what is the difference between open space activity and the workshop, so that people would know what is the workshop versus what is an open space?
So in an open space...
Anyone? Yeah.
Yeah, Peter, go ahead.
Okay, so in an open space, you don't really set the program in advance. What you do is you set the theme. And then they say, let's bring an interesting theme and the right people will come. And then usually what happens, and I don't know how this is going to be organized here, but assuming you do it the traditional way, the first thing you do is you kind of explain how open space works, and then you figure out what you're going to talk about, and then you go off and create sessions. Okay, and and so if you've got something that you want to learn about, you can say, hey, I want to learn about X. I want to learn about powerful questions, which, by the way, is going to be a topic of my workshop as we get into how do you use powerful questions. Or you might say, hey, I have been doing a deep dive on combining powerful questions with game theory, and I'd like to talk about, gaming with powerful questions. Okay, and so you kind of bring your topics, and you get to make your pitch. And if people find it interesting, well, then they'll come to your session. And if they want to learn from you, or if you've got something to contribute, or if you want to learn from them, I learned how to make videos in an open space. So that was, our training videos. And so that was really cool. I just asked the question, and there happened to be an expert or a couple of experts in the room who were happy to share. And not only did I learn about making videos, but I learned about asking powerful questions too, because that was what the video ended up being about. So it's really, there's a lot of serendipity that happens in open space. And so the difference between my workshop is, maybe 30 minutes of it is going to be based on, working through through a topic that's chosen by the participants. And the rest of it is going to be kind of working up, I don't want to say theory and practice because it's going to be more interactive and more doing than theory. But we're going to learn to ask powerful questions. We're going to learn to, kind of identify the right question for the right moment. And then we're going to experiment with the facilitation technique, which works well in a lot of different contexts to do this collective problem solving. So does that give you?
Well, thanks
so first of all, I got you got excited about open space. I'm actually looking forward to the open space myself. I got a question or two that I want to ask. I'm hoping I get to go there.
For sure.
Yeah, that sounds great. Anyone wanted to add something?
I wanted to say that for sure we will be waiting for your question in open space.
We will be there, and the questions will be there, of course.
I think open space is magic happening guaranteed. I've been to a lot of open space events. I will attend also Agile in Europe in Vilnius in August. So I will come to Lithuania again because I can. And every time I go to an open space, I get surprised. So if you're willing to be surprised with knowledge that you didn't know you lack yet, open space is the way to go. That's really, really awesome.
So that's a reminder for everybody that even though you don't think that you have what to learn from the things that you see, there is always magic happening in open space. Get ready for that.
And
thanks for sharing that.
Maybe just one idea to add about open space. I'm also the big fan of that, and it's a very good place to get the connections. It's very important to get this out of each conference you are participating in and each event, and to get the network spread widely in open space is very easy. You get the idea, okay, this is a person I admire. I know that he could bring up more, I don't know, ideas to me, and the topic where he's an expert of, it's my topic that I'm having pain in my head. So it's very good to have a connection and then just dive deep with that person and get it, I don't know, later after the event and get in touch. So it's also very important.
Thanks for sharing your experience regarding open space. Maybe a couple of more questions regarding the details of the event. And I don't know, perhaps you, Greta or Saula, could share once again for everyone when exactly Agile Day Kaunas is happening, at which place, when it starts, when it ends, and then things like that, so that people could once again capture that.
Yeah, so it will be on the 11th of May. The registration starts at 8:30. The event starts at 9 sharp, and don't be late because you don't want to miss Thomas van Zuylen opening the event. And it will end when it ends. I'm just joking. It will end at around, I can't remember.
6:30.
6:30, yes.
Unless there will be after party in the some kind of
yes,
club or
I'm
like
thinking,
that.
of course, about
Networking
after party.
and you never know.
So with all the networking, you can reserve your time up until 10 or depends.
I'm leaving on Sunday evening, so I got a lot of
party attendance, please.
Extra playtime, yeah.
That's so cool. One more question, maybe regarding from the audience. I see that there was a question in advance. Will there be any recording shared? I assume after the Agile Day Kaunas. So probably someone wants to cheat and not go there, but instead watch recordings.
No,
yeah,
we didn't. We didn't make any recordings last year. Only we have our social partners and Agile Sofas. Maybe you know them, and you can share your testimonial or share your experience, what you took from the event, and to make that memories last. But in the workshops and in the open space, we would like for people to feel relaxed and to share anything that they want to share, because some of the people are afraid to share if we are recording some stuff. So no recordings.
Yeah, so safety first from the psychology perspective, and no recordings from that perspective as well. And of course, as Saula mentioned, Agile Sofas on the Agile Couch will be there to have a chat with you, and as well, we will be recording a bit, but don't worry, we will ask your permission before doing that. So it will not be within the workshops or open space directly.
So it should not be stressful.
Andres, would you like to add something before we finish this live stream?
No, I think again, it was really a pleasure to spend this half an hour as a sneak peek, and I cannot wait for actually, Agile Day Kaunas 2023, because it was really good last year, and I'm participating every year, even before on the Agile Couch. So I love those events. Come join me, meet me, talk with me. Again, the Peter, all of us will be there. So let's have fun. Today we had fun.
Let's have fun.
How much fun we'll have during that event? It's crazy.
Ooh, unimaginable. Hard to imagine that. Cool. So thanks everyone for being here with us. Thank you for participants watching. With that said, wish you a happy day ahead, and see you in Agile Day Kaunas this year soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.